Good evening, everyone. My name is Carlette McKenzie, and today is October 16, 2024. I felt like I needed to make this video. I feel like the Lord has impressed upon my heart to just remind us of who we are. At the end of the day, we're Christians, right? And I'm a type of Christian that really has a unique message from all other Christians, but not even getting on that right now. At the end of the day, we're all Christians. I'm constantly, every day, seeing new things happening. The world is descending further and further into chaos. We're literally watching the world crumble around us. The things we thought we could trust, institutions, systems, everything just seems to be either falling apart, experiencing radical change, like imploding. Like it's just something going on with everything in this world. There is something going on. It's really amazing to see. And I know, like with my family, they've been told since they were children, we're living in the last days, we're living in the last days, we're living in the last days. So it's like to them, they've grown like it's lost its meaning and its importance almost. But to me, 28-year-old, I have not spent my whole life hearing that. I mean, yes, I have, but let me see if I can make this make sense. Like I've heard that, yes, especially when I was a child. Like I've heard that we're living in the last days, but it didn't. That was the extent of it. Like they would just say that, right? Now I with that in mind, and as an adult, I'm watching everything crumble and implode and just descend into utter chaos and just confusion. It just brings it back home. Like, no, we're living in the last days, and not only should we know that and be aware of that, we should operate our lives with that in fact, because our purpose here as Christians is to spread God's message. So is every day a day where we're thinking, how can I get God's word out? How can I show somebody love? Or are we just thinking about the day-to-day 9 to 5, just standard of living, or I want to save up to buy this gadget, or want to go on this trip or whatever? Are we living lives purposefully? Because not forgetting who we are at our core is Christians. First and foremost, that's what we are. As humans, Christians, right? We know who we serve, so we should not fear anything or anybody in this world, because these systems and institutions around us were built by people in this world. And who did God cast out? Who is in this world? Who do we know is in this world, and a third of his fleet and his army is in this world, right? It's the devil. We know that he's here. So if every day we're experiencing life and we're not really seeing sin and chaos, or it just seems like, yeah, things are going wrong around us, but I mean, that's a part of life. Who cares? It's just 2024, just new and strange things happening. No, I think it's time to read a little bit further into what's going on and remember what the Bible told us, that in the last days there would be a great falling away. There would be just utter sin and just confusion and natural disasters. And it's like we're literally seeing all of these things. We're literally seeing it all. So I made this video because I feel like there's probably some Christians, some Christian family, brothers and sisters. We've got to remember who we are. We've got to remember who we serve. We've got to not walk around with fear of any kind, because at the end of the day, we know who we serve. And like the way that I operate my life is very bold. It's very in your face. Sometimes I'm aware of that, but I can tell you with 100% humility, honesty, I'm not moving in the way that I'm moving because I feel like I'm better than anybody. No, simply, at the end of the day, simply, I am trying to tell of God's love by way of truth. So I'm what they might say a conspiracy theorist, because I like to research truth. I want to know things for myself. And not only do I want to study the truth, but I want to compare it to what the Bible has told us. And does it make sense with things in the Bible? Right? Does it make sense? There's a lot of things that are deemed as normal in this world that are not told by us that we should be doing. Right? The Bible did not say that we should be doing these things, but these are just things of the last days, of modern times, conveniences, things that we think are good for us, but are given to us by the world. Now, we already know that the world hates us because we're Christians, even though we might not feel like the world hates us. At the end of the day, the world hates us because we are Christians and we proclaim Jesus Christ. There's only one way to Christ, to God, to heaven, and that is through Jesus. How hard is that to understand? Nonetheless, we must remember who we are. So I'm calling all Christians, especially young adults. I need to establish or find a young adult community of fired up Christians who are not playing about God. Because I see it every day. I see it within my church. I see it within people around me. There's been not only a falling away, but like a growing a lukewarm and just this attitude of, don't care about things going on these days. I'll just be quiet about it. Just let them fall apart. Let them happen. No, we must remember that as these things are falling apart, people are being confused. People are being tricked. People are being bamboozled. People are being deceived. So it's our job. It's for us. And this is why God appointed us here in this space and time in these last days to tell people the truth, because that's all that most people are looking for. People just want the truth. Nobody wants to be lied to. Come on. We've got to stand up. And I'm getting to the point where I'm going to be doing more, right? Started the podcast. I started different things in 2021. I let life get in the way, but I tell you right now in this space and time, I'm getting back to proclaiming the truth, proclaiming God, proclaiming we're in the last days, proclaiming reformation, proclaiming we need to repent. That's what they're not telling us. They're like this modern Christianity, they've made it almost palatable. They want to make it palatable to everybody. Like, oh, it's so easy to be a Christian. No, it's not. That's what they won't tell you. It's not. But the wages of sin are death. So it's up to you. It's a choice. If you want to die to self daily, if you want to do these things, follow God's law, or you want to do the easy route and go along with the world. At the end of the day, I personally am not affected. I realize that. But it's my duty. It's my job. It's my calling to just at least share that truth with you. Whether you want to accept it or not, that's on you. But I don't know. I don't want to ramble too much. I just want to say to my people, especially young adults, Christians, we've got to stand up. We've got to be on fire for Christ, be on fire for God, like not waver. Because too many people and too many institutions and too many things are just caving into this world. It's very amazing to see. But again, we've got to remember we were told this. A great falling away would happen. Like, that's why I don't understand. Well, I do understand because it's deception and it's just sin, but how we're missing it. Like, there's serious things going on in this world. Prophetic things. But we live our day to day like, oh, what next vacation trip am I going to go on, or this or that, or ooh, I want to save up for this car, or I want a promotion at work, or like we're thinking about the wrong things. We're thinking about the wrong things. So I just made this video to just tell you God's got you. To that man or woman that's watching this video and who's unsure if they should go all in on Christ, go all in on God, die to self daily, you can't go wrong. Salvation is what God has intended for us. He wants it for all of us. It's up to us to choose it. Let's do the work that we know we need to do. Let's be bold. Let's not waver. Because I'm telling you, once the final stages and the mark of the beast system is fully implemented, you're going to have to make that choice. And there will be martyrs. I'm prepared for that. I'm ready for that. And I'm praying to God daily that He'll fortify me. So if that time ever comes where I'm facing the guillotine or something and I'm asked, who do you serve? I'm going to say Yeshua HaMashiach without hesitation. That is my prayer. I don't think enough of us Christians have that prayer. We're too focused on the day-to-day. At this point, there's so many red flags and prophetic symbolism and prophetic things going on in this world. We're to the point where we can't just ignore this. We can't just go along with the okie doke and just go along and descend along with the world into chaos. No, I can't do it, and I'm not going to allow my family to just blindly descend into chaos. I've been with my family in the past, and I might say my approach might have been a little bit too brazen, but again, who is a person that loves you? A person that's willing to tell you lies to your face, smile in your face, tell you, oh, this is happening, or a person who's peeing on you and telling you that it's raining? Or is it the other person who's witnessing and who's done a little research and who also is thinking about the Bible and prophetic things? That's fresh on my mind, and it's trying to warn you. Am I the bad person? Like, why am I conspiracy theorist? If I do research and I put two and two together, especially keeping God in the order that I know that God operates in the order, in the way that the world operates in, it's clearly not. It's not the way that God operates. So is it so far-fetched that I might do some research and put two and two together and see something ain't right? Nonetheless, this video is for that man or woman who's struggling. God's got you. Be bold for him. Don't hesitate. If you're thinking of something, if there's something you feel like you need to do, somebody you need to tell, don't be afraid to open your mouth for Christ. That's the point of this video. And this is the first out of many. I'm going to start doing this more. Or actually, I'm going to start it up because I haven't really been doing it. But I'm going to start doing this. Just a chat every so often. You got it. You can do it. God has given you the tools. God has given you the mind to want to do it. He's given you the idea. Whatever he's giving you, do it. Because at this point, we've got to be radical with the way we move, because the devil is unbrazen now. He's clearly putting sin in our face. He's putting sin all around us. It's just so hard to miss now. So we've got to keep that same energy and be blatant about God. Okay. At the end of the day, feelings don't matter. You may feel offended. You may feel like I did it in the wrong way, but am I speaking truth? At the end of the day, let's be adults. Let's use our brains and not let feelings get in the way of whatever somebody's message is trying to be, because feelings are fleeting. Come on now, we're adults. But I love you all. I'm going to end the video there. This video is just telling you God told you to do it. God has impressed upon you to do it. Let's be bold and let's do it. There's nothing to fear. For God is our ultimate source of energy. He is our ultimate. He orders our steps. I don't want for anything in this world. I don't worry for anything. I give it to God, and God takes care of me. And I know I'm not the only one. I know there's other Christians out there like that. So let's remember who we are. Let's remember who we already know wins. We already know who wins. So right now, what we're trying to do is bring as many people to the right side as possible. It's not that hard. It is hard in application. And you have to pray about it. And you have to ask God to give you the strength. So at the end of the day, you can do it. It can be done. I love you all. Peace and blessings.